Alright guys, welcome back to another video. This week's is going to be a really cool one, and as many of you know, I've got this 10-gallon WaterBox aquarium upstairs just opposite the kitchen in my house. Really like this setup, really like this scape. I have, however, been having a little issue with BBA, and that's why the algae eater is in there. That's a Siamese algae eater, meant to be really good with BBA. It's doing a pretty good job so far. It's been in there about 2 weeks. However, I'm getting a little bit bored of this setup just because it reminds me quite a lot of my 125-gallon island aquascape downstairs. So today we're just going to change it, switch it right up and do something that I think is going to be really cool. So let's get it going. So here we are, morning of the demolition. Tank's not looking too bad, water levels dropped down a little bit, but we're going to fix that all. Don't know how long this is going to take me, but I would imagine quite a while. So first thing we're going to do is get all our aquascaping needs from downstairs in the basement. We've got our leftover aqua soil there, we've got all our tweezers, scaping tools, boatload of towels, and first things first, we're going to get these fish and some of the water out of this tank and put them into this little 5-gallon. While we're doing that, we can take 5 gallons of water out of this tank, take the heater, take the filtration, absolutely everything, keep that biological filtration golden. And then we're also going to take out the plants and everything like that. And after about 45 minutes, an hour, this is how we're looking. Absolute destruction, as you can see. The Monte Carlo is looking really good. So the scape that I'm envisioning in my mind, I'm probably going to keep quite a lot of that Monte Carlo. The 5-gallon is looking brilliant. Fish look to be nice and comfortable. Got the heater, got the filter in there, and we just put some leftover plants in there as well. Pretty much all the crypts, the S repens, and the remaining of the plants in there as well. We also put a little pirate ship in there just for the shrimp so they can hide out. This is pretty much how we're going to leave it for tonight. So I'll put some cling film over the top of it, spray it down, and we should be good to go. The lighting is on right now, probably for another hour at this point. So I'll just leave it like this overnight and come back to it in the morning. Next morning, this is where we are going to start off our day. It's a Sunday today. Tank's looking brilliant. Just thought I'd put the lighting on so you could see it. Really liking it. Plants are growing great, fish are growing fantastically, and overall just really happy with this tank. Sadly, when I put the lighting on, it got the CO2 going as well, so that's not ideal, but just thought I'd show you it. It's been a while since I've shown you this tank and just wanted to show you this progress. In the fish room, we decided to throw all of the rocks that we got from the 10-gallon tank into some water and bleach solution overnight, just to try and get rid of all that BBA algae that was on the rocks. Hopefully that will do its job. But now we're going to get around to scaping. As you can see, I just pulled out all the rocks, dried them, and this is the kind of idea for the 10-gallon. Luckily I had a spare 10-gallon in my garage that I just used for this. Dimensions should be about the same. And as you can see, I'm going for a pretty simple layout with the rocks. Left side, really simple. We're going to have it a little higher in that back left, so where a lot of the crypts are. And then the right is almost like, I'm imagining a mountain, like a climb. And this is what this aquascape is going to be called. I'm not a big Miley Cyrus fan myself. But yeah, it's going to be called The Climb, just because I really like that idea. A few hours later, this is how the tank now looks upstairs. As you can see, I pretty much transferred every single rock how I wanted it to, and you can still definitely see that mountain range that I'm going for on the right hand side. We've got a little pathway through the middle, which will give it that sense of depth, and overall I think it's looking awesome. So we're going to start getting planting. We're going to plant the Monte Carlo first, and as you can see, I've started to plant a little bit of it around these rocks here. And overall, just really excited to see how this is going to turn out. I personally think this is probably going to be one of my best aquascapes yet. All the Monte Carlos now in the tank. You can kind of see what I'm going for through the middle now, with the Monte Carlo running all the way back. And to say, you know, a lot of this Monte Carlo is pulled out. I think I did a pretty good job planting it. Let's hope and pray that when I put water in this thing, it all doesn't come up. We're now going to get all the crypts from the 5-gallon tank and throw them in the tank. Leave some moss over there and leave all the fish in there until everything gets sorted. This is what I basically came up with. Got some higher growing plants in the back, and I've got some water sprite in there as well, which I think will look cool. We've got a crypt as well, and then we've got crypts in the back left. We've got the red Wendetii or whatever it's called, and then the lutea. I believe the lutea being the bright green, and I think that's going to look really cool, especially once it all grows in. For now, I don't believe I'm going to put everything in this tank tonight. I'm going to fill it up, let it all settle, and use the surface skimmer as almost like a filter for the night, get it all cleared up, and then put everything in the morning. So now let's fill her up. So here we are about 15 minutes later, completely unsure about how people fill these tanks up with aqua soil that you've just kind of brought up and moved around and it not fog at all. I tried to fill it up as slowly as what I could, and use tissue paper and stuff, but I always get this murkiness, but that's fine. This should clear up hopefully by tomorrow. Everything stayed down in terms of the Monte Carlo, so that's awesome. You can kind of see that path, even though it is a little bit murky, but let's come back to it in the morning. So here we are about 6-7 hours later. The 5-gallon tank is nice and covered so my cats can't bother the fish, and the tank is looking awesome. As you can see, the surface skimmer did really good at clearing the tank overnight. I also put this little tiny heater on that keeps the tank at 75 degrees, I think, just so the plants don't really struggle if it gets too cold. But as you can see, this tank is awesome. Really happy with it. All the Monte Carlo stayed. Plants look to be doing pretty good. Not getting any melting yet, and hopefully the crypts don't do that because they are notorious for crypt melt. But now let's take a little bit of this water out and get the fish in there. Took some water out of the 5-gallon into the 10-gallon, so the water parameters are very similar, and now it's just time to catch all the fish and put them in the tank. As you can see, we've caught 2 of the Harlequin rasboras already, but we're going to catch all the others, and then we'll take a look at the tank. Hopefully this is going to end up looking as good as what I think it is. So let's get everyone in there, let them get settled for a few hours, and then check it out. Alright guys, so hopefully you agree this tank is looking absolutely awesome. Just to end the video, I'll give you a little rundown of everything that we've got in here. We have got 6 Harlequin Rasboras, and 2 of them look like they've been on roids recently. I'm not sure why or how they got so much bigger than the rest, but they are absolute tanks. I mean, look at that one there. It's absolutely huge. In addition to these 6, we've then got 1 Siamese algae that's still in the tank. I'm just going to keep him in here for a few more weeks just to put a little bit of size on. Then we're going to put him in the 125. We've then got 1 nearite snail. As you can see, he's right there on that rock. Another little thing that I like about this scape is that little cave in that rock there in the middle of the screen. That's going to be really, really good for the shrimp. So that's kind of something that just stood out when I was making the tank, and you know, if you didn't know it was there, you almost wouldn't notice it. But this will be a really nice thing for the cherry shrimp or orange shrimp that we've got in this tank. We've got 5 or 6 of those, I think. But in terms of stocking, that's pretty much it right now. I might get some more shrimp at some point. I'm unsure what to do about that. If you've got any ideas for this tank, or if you think something else would look good in this tank, as you can see from downstairs, I've got plenty of aquariums. So if you think something else would look cool in here, then you know, I could always move some fish around and put something in that might look a little bit better, kind of more of a showpiece fish. But for right now, I'm really, really liking this tank, and I swear the snail's alive. He's moved every now and again. He's lazy, but he does move. Overall, like I said, really, really liking this tank. I think it's going to be absolutely awesome. And these Harlequin Rasboras do look really, really good, as I'm sure you will agree. Hopefully you've liked this video. Hopefully you like this tank. If you have, please leave a like. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment down below about what you think to this tank. And just to end this video and this new build series, let's feed all the fish, because I know you guys like watching that. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.